So a few months ago, I made a bloxburg house in the style of the 2016 aesthetic, so I think it's now time to go back to one of bloxburg's most iconic eras, 2020, because today I'm going to be building a house in the style of the 2020s bloxburg aesthetic. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Now, to address the elephant in the room, I know I haven't probably posted in ages, okay? I've been busy and totally not uploading on a completely different channel. Anyways, today we're of course going to be building a 2020 bloxburg style inspired house, and some would call it the golden era of bloxburg, but in terms of builds I would call it traumatizing. But in the spirit of 2020, I actually do have a 2020 outfit here to wear in this video, okay? This is one of the 2020 outfits I used to wear at the very start of Glossie. I was obsessed with this outfit and this hair. I didn't ever wear this hat, however, every bloxburg mom on the planet had this hat, so I felt like I had to wear it for this video. Also, please ignore the eyelashes on my fake super happy face. I'm still having to use a fake one because they haven't fixed the real one. It still looks disgusting. So yeah, this is very 2020 core for today. We are going to get into building, and just to kind of show you the style I'm going for, we're going for very kind of like linen blush suburban home in the classic 2020 style. I feel like your house was either really modern or like the really kind of suburban ones, and because the 2016 build video I did was modern, I felt like for this one we could just stick to suburban. So if we actually go and look at the earliest videos on my channel from 2020 though, you'll see that I was actually a 2020 speed builder. We have the suburban family home, the blush modern home. I was eating all of this up, okay? This is definitely going to be inspired by some of my early bangers, like the blush suburban home with 100 views. Now I can remember this one being cute, but if you play the actual video, the quality is so bad. Where is the tour here? Oh my gosh, it looks like I filmed this on, I don't even know, like a DS. The quality was so bad, but this is so nostalgic. This is like peak 2020 building in this video. But if I kind of skip ahead, you can definitely see kind of like the color scheme I had and things, and it's definitely going to be heavily inspired by kind of like this look. So we're just going to get straight into building this and start of course with the floor plan. So for the floor plan, I really wanted to go very authentic 2020 and make it kind of not perfect and kind of awful. Like every house in 2020 would overuse this kind of, how do I even explain it? Like you'd make a wall and then you'd have like another part sticking out of the wall, if that makes sense. The walls could never be flat. They always had to have bits of walls sticking out for the windows. So I really wanted to include that a lot in this shape. Like 2020 floor plans genuinely look like mazes. It was kind of insane. Anyways, it took me a couple attempts at floor plans and deleting them before I eventually started to get somewhere. I decided I really wanted a porch too, and this here was my main floor plan attempt that I started to like. It was very 2020 core, but after many attempts, the inside was just not working. The floor plan was so bad, even for 2020 standards. I spent like an hour on it and still hated it, so I decided it was time to lock in and really connect with my bloxburg 2020 self for this, okay? I made a final attempt at the floor plan and changed it up a little bit, and this one actually turned out pretty good. I did search up a lot of my old builds to kind of use as references, and I started planning out where the kitchen counters would go and things. Then once the entire plan was finished, I also placed down some colors and textures that I know I used to use the most, as of course in 2020 we didn't have the custom color wheel, so I wanted to make sure I had the palette of what my builds used to look like. And finally I placed down a bunch of clutter items from 2022 just to kind of stop myself using any newer items on accident, and that was pretty much it. So this is kind of how it's looking. This is the actual house. Of course, ignore the roof. The roof is atrocious. This was bad, even probably for 2020 standards, so I will fix that. But the floor plan and everything is looking pretty good. So we're just gonna kind of start working on this, and I'm actually so excited to do this. I love a bit of nostalgia, so I kind of have been really enjoying doing like these older style houses, but we'll see how this turns out. I feel like this could come out kind of ridiculous. I'm trying to kind of like connect back to how I used to build in 2020. It's been such a long time, and I feel like I went through so many build phases that year, so I'm having to really think hard about like what my favorite items were and stuff. It's also going to be difficult to only use items that were out in 2020, so if an item from like 2021 sneaks in here, guys, don't shout at me, okay? What I am going to do for the kitchen is the same thing I've just done for the little bathroom, and that is to do like the checkered flooring, because I used to be obsessed with this in all of my kitchens, which just means I'm gonna have to sit here and click for ages. But 2020 was such a good era for bloxburg. It does make me laugh though, because if you actually look back on like the 2020 updates, they weren't even that good. I feel like everyone remembers them as being so good and detailed, but we really only got updates like once or twice every few months. It was still a great time. The game was so active, we had so many good YouTubers, and I feel like this is a fitting video to admit who my favorite YouTuber was from back then, because just the same as pretty much everyone in the bloxburg community, my favorite YouTuber in 2020 was ACNH, okay? And it's really weird because we're friends now. So it kind of makes me laugh, but I was like the biggest Annex fan in the world, okay? I used to comment on all his videos like first all the time. And I remember I used to get so annoyed because every single time he would let people like fans in his servers to be in classic videos like, oh, what was it? Like opening his Starbucks and stuff. He would do it like past midnight UK time and I would be asleep and I get so annoyed. Yeah, he was my favorite. I feel like he was everyone's favorite. He was kind of like the 2020 version of what Alaska Violet is now before he stopped uploading. Okay, here's all the floors done. So what I'm gonna do is kind of do windows and doors quickly. I'm just trying to get the structure done so we can decorate this monstrosity. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna dig up all my old decals. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. Did we have these windows in 2020? I feel like we did. Yes, we did. Okay, I can see them in this video. I'm using my own videos to fact check. I don't even know if we had like the resizing thing, but just pretend we did, okay? This is gonna be a little office. I think I'm gonna do 2 windows here, some on this side. I'm just trying to fill all of this in. This is slowly looking good. And then I always used to use, where's the back door? This one, oh my gosh, I used to overuse this French door set so much. Anyways, now all the structure stuff is done, I'm slowly gonna work on furnishing this. I think I might start with the living room or the kitchen. I don't know. Okay, wait, we're gonna go with the kitchen. I'm gonna work on this, but we're gonna yap at the same time. Guys, I feel like there's so much to update you guys on because I haven't posted in so long. I moved house again, surprise. I know some of you know that because I was posting about it on Discord and stuff, but I have actually moved house again, so you guys will be getting another building my real life house video soon, okay? Trust me. But also, kind of a more random one. As some of you know, I love Monster High. I have a very large Monster High doll collection. I actually finally got a custom glossy Monster High doll made, and guys, it's so gorgeous. I'll put a picture of her on screen. I've been meaning to do a short kind of showing her off, but I keep forgetting to do it because I've been busy moving. But my office is looking pretty good. I say office, it's a corner of my room. So I'll probably do like a proper tour soon, but oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. I just think she's gorgeous. It's also, not gonna lie, made me want to get commissions of like Bloxburg Tom and Susan dolls. Like I really want to do something with the Bloxburg NPCs. I thought it'd be kind of cute. Convince me and it'll probably happen. Honestly, if one person in the comments says I should do it, I probably will. I'm very easy to persuade. Let me quickly also color all of my tiles. Then I always used to use this oven because it's like the most expensive one, and I had to show I was rich, okay? I specifically remember there's like one specific house I did, which I don't have pictures of anymore, but it was this huge mansion, and it was genuinely like linen final boss. It was actually atrocious. It was so bad. I can't remember what colors I used to do for like kitchen cabinets. I'm gonna have to go and dig through pictures again. Let me scroll down my Instagram. Hang on. I found one. I'm gonna use this one because it's kind of closest to what I would do. I would make the kitchen cabinets stone and then everything else linen. Okay, for authenticity, I guess this is how I'm gonna have to do it. It's also gonna really upset me that I can't use any of like the custom colors because we didn't have the custom color wheel back then. But I guess let me steal the texture. I'm just gonna color everything. Did I used to do linen on the stone too? No, I don't think I did. No, that's too dark. I used to kind of do like this color. Why did I make them stone? Who has this in the house? This is actually gonna be more traumatizing than I was expecting it to be. Oh, this looks so wrong. I kind of got away with it with my like terrible graphics, but now I just don't. Then I used to have this stone as well, and then the top of it would be marble. Oh, this is so bad. What was I doing? This is really upsetting me. What is this? Okay, let me make then the windows linen as well. Everything wood was linen. I also used to add the neon light everywhere before you could like transform them, and I put them like this. So I'm gonna do the same. I used to do it on the corners for some reason, so every single time I find a corner like that, I think I'm gonna add the lights, and I used to do them bright white because that made total sense. Oh my gosh, wait, this is actually kind of getting nostalgic. This isn't that bad. Well, it is bad, but like 2020, I'm kind of enjoying this. So the next things I did was basically finishing off the kitchen. I added a fridge and I added decals onto the wall to add in these terrible marble decals I used to use on every kitchen ever, as well as coloring the walls and adding wall trims and things, and just some random clutter that I would typically put in like most kitchens I made. Now, when it got to adding the decals, however, none of them would work. And this is because if you somehow have not heard this on social media, Roblox basically changed how the decals work and made 99% of decal codes in games break. So I basically had to find my own marble texture and re-upload it to get the new correct code. I did manage to get all the decals in eventually and just added a bit more decoration, and then I moved on to coloring more of the first floor too. So I used the wooden planks texture for the floor that I once again used in every single build without fail. Plus I made this quote unquote custom table for the dining room, which I also used to do all the time using these little tables. This was like my version of basic shapes almost. After that, I then actually actually started painting the front of the house, and at the beginning it was going to be very linen with all the pillars and things, but then I started struggling on the color scheme halfway and actually decided to swap the colors and make all the pillars white instead, which was pretty much the other color option that everyone used to use. And of course I bought every girl's dream car in 2020, the Jeep, just as a nice touch too. So the kitchen is nearly pretty much done. There's a few details I'll do later, same with the dining room, but I am going to move on to the living room for now. And it's so annoying because there's not exactly any cool custom projects for me to go off and build in this. In 2020 we did not have basic shapes, okay? I feel like a lot of people remember us having them, but we didn't. We got basic shapes in 2021, so March 2021 is when we actually got them added. We didn't actually have them at this stage, so I really am back in the trenches, okay? I miss my basic shapes and structurals. Anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of piecing this together. Funnily enough though, basic shapes was an update that I actually missed and I came back to a few months after they actually added it, and I was so confused. So basically what happened was, and this is another thing that happened in 2020, so we're kind of staying on theme. I've mentioned this before, I got catfished, okay? I had a Roblox best friend for like 2 years, and I found out in like December of 2020 that he was actually a catfish, and I basically after that took a break from bloxburg and YouTube for like 9 months. So I did miss a lot of the updates in 2021. I still played, I never ever abandoned it for that long. Like I played I'd say every week or so, but I didn't really look at the updates, so I missed basic shapes. I remember coming back to it and being so confused. I feel like I have so much like 2020 lore, honestly. Also, I can't lie, this is really making me want to build kind of like a 2020 Christmas house. Oh, I'm so excited for the Christmas update this year. I am so excited for the elf hunt. No one's surprised. Right now, there's a trend on TikTok, and it's honestly my favorite trend that the community has had in the recent like 5 years. It's like, you know those point of views where it's like point of view you're dating and then a random character? The bloxburg news presenter one has blown up the most. It's like point of view you're dating the bloxburg news presenter, and apparently that's got like 2 million likes, and there's like K-pop idols. Apparently a K-pop idol reposted it or something, I don't know, but I did one and mine was point of view you're dating the bloxburg elf because I needed to be unique, okay? I needed a different character. I also did point of view, you're dating Boomer before he goes missing. As per usual, all I'm thinking about is the elf hunt. 2020 was also the first ever elf hunt year, and oh my gosh, I remember they added it and they didn't actually announce it as an update, so it was actually added as kind of like a secret thing, and people started finding out. I found out on day 5 because of like people on social media, but it took people a while to figure out it was there. But my goodness, it changed my life. I do enjoy the seasonal updates much more in this map than the other one, and that's because of a specific location in the map that looks so good when it's winter or autumn. Hang on, we're going on a detour, okay? I really want to show you guys my favorite part of the map. So if you go to the Peak Mountain bus stop, it's actually specifically right here, which is my favorite location in the entire map, and I don't know why. I'm so obsessed with it. Okay, here we go. So it's right next to the waterfall, and you'd think I was gonna say the waterfall because it's so cool, but no, it's actually this bit here, this road here, very specifically this stretch of road with the trees and like the telephone wires. This looks so good when you have like autumn or winter. Let me put in like a more autumny color and you'll see exactly what I mean. Oh no, it doesn't color all the trees right now. Okay, imagine this, but it's all the trees and they're all orangey with like the telephone wires and everything. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good up here. I love it. Okay, back to what I was doing. Back to this, I'm pretty much just furnishing this. Once again, there's no obviously custom things to do with basic shapes and stuff, so it's very simple. But this build is already making me reminisce to an insane degree. I did actually want to do, so I think last year was it Christmas time? I don't know. I did this video where I basically ranted about old bloxburg versus new bloxburg and how I feel about stuff, and a lot of you really like that, and I'm in the mood to do a nostalgic one. I wanted to rant about bloxburg nostalgia. I didn't really go, okay, I did talk about it in that video, but I feel like that wasn't like the main purpose of it, so I would love to do it again. I basically want to do one where we talk about nostalgia and how nostalgia has affected the player base and things like that. Just all of it, because I feel like bloxburg is such a weird community because there is such like a mass hysteria over the nostalgic aspect of the game compared to anything else. And bloxburg is definitely a game where the developers themselves keep nostalgia. They kind of like, they're really careful about cherishing things. Like you wouldn't see most games keep what bloxburg do and kind of add all these Easter eggs to kind of like keep the nostalgia alive, if that makes sense. So I feel like we're so lucky with what we have, but I do feel like the community is very stuck in what the game used to be, and if they keep going that way, it'll never go forward. I won't rant about it too much much in this one, but if you guys want a full video, let me know. The living room's looking pretty good. This used to be my favorite item ever, this little llama thing. This was like peak shelf decoration. I'm just kind of going around adding stuff. I need a coffee table, but I'm not too sure which one I used to use. Oh, do I add a Christmas tree in here for the sake of it? I might do, honestly. We have the bathroom as well, the downstairs bathroom. Oh my gosh, I found the most traumatizing image today. On my Instagram, there's a picture and I made a bathroom and the toilet was linen, like wood linen. What possessed me to do that? Genuinely, what was I on in 2020? Oh, I forgot I had the office in here too. Let me start adding stuff in here. I'm gonna use my favorite desk. Where is it? The quadratic desk. This was my favorite. I still overused this one. We're gonna put the office like this way. I'm gonna add a bookshelf in this kind of bit. I don't know why I sectioned this off. There's just like a chunk missing. I don't know what I was doing with this floor plan. I guess I was making it just as terrible as they used to be. It pains me that I have to use old items because I hate this office chair so much. It was so bad, but we have new ones and I can't even use them. Like this one and then this one. Oh my gosh, from the City Hall revamp are so good. We're gonna put a PC in here. Let me steal some decals. There's so many cute things that I can't use. Oh my gosh. Also going back to the nostalgia thing. So many people say like, why couldn't we have got this in 2020 in terms of updates, or things like saying that they would have really wanted this in 2020. And it makes me laugh because they talk about the updates being bad, but they say things like that and it's like, you're basically admitting you would have loved it in 2020. It's like people just hate to hate at this point. 2024 really kind of, I guess, broke the community up in chunks because of the bad updates that obviously got reverted now, but people kind of got into this pattern of just hating for the sake of it. Like they want to find faults in it to complain and then always bring nostalgia back into it. And I don't know, I just find the community kind of fascinating in that way. But yeah, bloxburg mums in 2020 really would have just passed out on the floor if they got half the updates we had now. Like so much of this stuff I wanted for so long. There we go. This isn't actually looking too bad. So I'm moving on to the second floor. I've kind of done most of the furniture down here. There's a few more things to do, but I'm leaving it for now. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's going in these rooms. I want to do a different bedrooms, like a master bedroom, a kid's bedroom, and then like a baby one, because I think it'd be cool to have different types. But I haven't really worked out where bathrooms are gonna go or anything. Okay, let me figure this out. I think this one is gonna probably be the biggest room. Let me add a bed. And then if I get rid of this door, this can be like a bathroom. I think I'll put like a terrible mini cinema in this one. This can be a bathroom because it's the smallest. And then these two can be bedrooms. And that's pretty much it. Once again, obviously this is 2020, okay? So we had very simple builds and it's kind of killing me inside. Like I keep feeling like this is an utter disappointment and then remembering that's the whole point. Like it's not meant to look, you know, 2026 standards. It's meant to kind of be a bit terrible. What baby items did we have? We had the crib items and everything because this was 2020 was the year we actually got the baby and toddler updates. So we did have those. So I know I can at least put like the changing thing and stuff. Maybe I'm slightly wrong, but it's fine. One thing, like I said earlier, I used to love using the neon lights and I used to basically add them like this, like these random shapes. And then I get the other one like this and do this. And this was like wall art for some reason. I really enjoyed doing this. I don't know why. I'll bring back my 2020 era. I used to always do when I did kid rooms, which was very rare because I wasn't really a role player in 2020, but I'd kind of always split them in half. So this one would be blue and then the other one would be pink. Some of the most nostalgic items in bloxburg for me are actually the kids items, like the bananas in here. This little thing. Oh my gosh, guys. In 2020, I had a banana son called Nivlem, and then I also had like an actual banana that I got as my other son. Oh no, wait, no, I've got it the wrong round. This was Melvin, okay? I had a son banana called Melvin. Then I got one of the actual banana items and I needed a name for that one to be my other son, so I called it Nivlem, which was Melvin backwards. Let me just do some toy decorating. I had so much random like 2020 lore. I remember because obviously it was COVID, every single day when it was online school, I used to just not go, and instead I would spend all day making bloxburg videos and playing in my bloxburg neighborhood with all my friends. A lot of you know Jazz. Jazz is one of my staff members and everything. She's part of my little Gloss Girls group and I met her in January of 2020. So she was there for all my bloxburg 2020 phases and she was one of the people that I used to play with every single day on bloxburg. I'll put some old screenshots on screen. I have so many old screenshots. I need to stop posting them. If I posted these on TikTok, I guarantee they'll be screenshotted and used in every single sad nostalgia edit for like the next 5 years. I need to grab all my paintings and we can add some of these. What else can I have in here? It's getting harder and harder to remember what we had in 2020 and what we didn't. I swear the planes and everything were added in 2020. Maybe I'm wrong. I swear it was that Christmas or the next Christmas after that. Maybe, possibly. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Pretty nostalgic. Oh, I remember what I used to do. I always used to also have the penguin lamp in the kids' rooms and the lava lamps. We need some more cool lamps. I think it'd be cool if they added some more. Where's my lava lamp? Let's put this over here. This is pretty much it for this room. I just need to kind of color color everything. Everything was so much quicker then, it's actually insane. Like, this took me no time at all. Next up, the bathroom. I just need to quickly change the flooring to match the kitchen because, of course, every single bathroom I used to also have the checkered flooring. I thought this was the peak of detail. I thought it was so clever. I also would always do the showers a very specific way. So the shower would always have to be a wall like this and then a pillar on the corner because obviously. And then I would put windows in between so it would like be this walk-in shower, and I would do that every single time like this. There we go. Honestly, my builds used to be identical to each other. They used to just have like a slightly different floor plan every time. They revamped a lot of the showers recently, so these aren't the OG ones anymore, but they look so much nicer. So I spent the next couple hours going back around the house and trying to finish off all of the decorating. I added some basic stuff to the dining room, finished off the downstairs bathroom, and then went back up to like the main bedroom to finish that off too. I made it match the rest of the house with the corner decals and lights, and basically just added some wardrobe space, a dressing table, pictures and things. Then once it was done, I moved on to the baby room to finish that off too, including adding the OG ugly rocking chair, which I hated for so long, and which finally, after years, we did get a really nice new one too recently. Once that was pretty much done, I edited the kids room a little bit, then moved on to the final bedroom, which was of course gonna be a cinema, but I did decide against that and just made it another basic bedroom to match the rest of them. After that was done, I actually went back into the first bedroom too and decided to change up the bed area by adding walls and windows to make this kind of like four-poster bed type thing, just to make it look a bit nicer. It was actually inspired by an old photo I found on my Instagram again, so I just wanted to put a tiny bit more effort into this area. But finally, once that was done, I finished off the main bathroom. I also added some pillars around the house. That was another design choice I used to abuse in my builds. Then I added the ensuite bathroom for the main bedroom, and that was pretty much it. So now that the inside of the house is done, we are moving on to the garden and like the outside. And as you guys probably know, I am terrible at decorating gardens, okay? I'm definitely better now, but in 2020 and like anything before 2023, I would just chuck a few trees in there and call it a day. Like, my decorating was so bad. So I'm just gonna add all the plants and stuff in first. I used to just spam these everywhere, and I was looking through my Instagram. Hang on, let me show you guys. This was my 2020 landscaping, okay? This is where it peaked. This is all I would do. I was so bad at like gardens and stuff, which honestly makes it easier for me because obviously I don't really have to do much. I just have to spam this stuff around. I was gonna put a pool in this one, but I feel like it wouldn't really fit, so I'm kind of going for more of a simple garden thing. Let me add like a little patio though. We can have a sitting area. Here we go. This can be for like the outdoor table, but yeah, I suck at landscaping. It's the one thing where I always do it at the end of the build, and by then I could just never be bothered. I'm a lazy builder when it comes to gardens. What can I say? Okay, if I put a tree right there, it's gonna cover everything up. I need to put them down the side instead. And then the bushes. This was before I even put effort into the bushes. I would genuinely just place them like this. Now I have a bit more of a tactic to it, which I'll show you what I mean. So what I usually do now when I'm using these bushes is I'll get the big one and put it there, and then I'll get small ones and kind of like place them in it and resize them, so it kind of just makes it look more realistic. But back then, why would I waste time on that? All I did was place them randomly like this, and this is all I would do. It was a hot mess, okay? Oh my gosh, you can't even call this a garden. They were so spaced out. What I did always used to use though was the illuminated bushes from Christmas. I was obsessed with those, so I think I'm gonna go and get some of them from my Christmas stock plot as well. Let me just finish placing everything down first. All right, I'm adding the rest of the trees, and it's definitely making it look a lot better. I'm just realizing as well, I've used the wrong spruce tree. This is the tree we used to have, the pine tree, but I think these are good, so let it slide, okay? Let me have this. I know they weren't in the game at the time, but they're cute. Then down this side as well. I don't know why I missed the whole side. It's looking at this, and I'm like, how on earth did I make a full-time career out of bloxburg building when this is the stuff I used to put out there? Who let me get to this stage, guys? Why did you subscribe? Oh, okay, wait, I know a detail I want to add. So I always used to do the striped grass as well, so I'm gonna add that in quickly. Also, they changed the color of the grass a couple months ago in the map, and I'm still annoyed about it. So the stripes I'm putting down, the lighter sections on this was what the whole map was colored, and they made it like slightly darker, which I guess maybe looks more realistic and less neon, but I miss the old color. I know a lot of people have wanted it darker for a while, but I wasn't included, okay? Okay, there we go. I've added the stripes in the back garden as well, and before I go to my stock plot to get some of the lighter bushes, we are going to paint the fence, and of course it has to be linen. There we go. That looks perfect. Let's hop over to my stock plot quickly. Here it is. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited for Christmas this year. I loved the update last year. Where are all my bushes? I normally buy a bunch of them. Oh, they're all like Are you serious? Did I only buy this many? What was wrong with me? I normally get like 300. Are they in my inventory? No. Seriously, why did I only buy that little pathetic amount? Do I have any in the basement? Oh my gosh. Why was I being sensible last year? I normally hoard like hundreds. It's probably because I don't really use them anymore, but still, what has gotten into me? Oh my gosh. Let me steal some of these. Is there anything else 2020-ish, guys? Shall I put a Christmas tree in it? I really want to. Okay, we're putting a tree. That's a large one. Where are the baby ones? We're putting a tree in the house. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this in the living room. That's the big one. Wrong one. That's not gonna fit in my house. This one. Guys, oh my gosh, stop. Wait, okay, let me paint this. I remember one of my speed builds was like this terrible pink Christmas room in 2020. Let's make this all pink and cute. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, wait. Let me stop looking at it before I decide to add more Christmas stuff in here. Okay, anyways, let me add these light up bushes around. Oh, that's still one of the cutest items, I think. We're gonna do this and then put some in the garden. I'm also gonna go and paint all the trees and stuff, but I think I'll do that at the end, off camera, because it's gonna take me like 30 minutes, because in true 2020 fashion, I've done the thing where I used to place everything down before painting it, and then it would take me ages. That's that pretty much done. So all we really need to do is add a few decorations, like seating areas and stuff. I'm gonna add this table and the matching chairs. This can be our little kind of outdoor area. Oh wait, we need a barbecue. And then one thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna add kind of like this wooden structure, which I used to do on every back garden too. So if I add some pillars and make these yet again linen, and then if we go up a floor, we're just gonna do the classic kind of drawing on this and making it like this thing that just goes over the top. I don't know why I did this on everything. One thing this video is showing is that I was the most uncreative builder in the world. I just nearly sneezed my headphones off. Anyways, there we go. This is what I used to do on everything. Oh no, I missed one. I missed a line. Hang on. There we go. Now it's perfect. I need my little deck chairs, which was another item I had a weird obsession with, which is why there's one out here. I'm gonna put these in the garden with a fire pit too. So we're just gonna place these kind of like this, and then I can put like a fire pit. Where is the fireplaces? Here we go. This one specifically, I always overuse this one as well. But yeah, I'm basically just gonna go around and add a bunch of garden clutter and stuff. And this is pretty much it. This was like the last thing I used to build, and it was the easiest because I put zero effort into it, but I'm just gonna add some more. And then I'm also gonna go and actually add all the decals in the house and stuff, which is probably gonna take me ages because of the stupid Roblox update, but I'm gonna get the rest finished, and then I will see you guys in a few seconds for a final tour of our very 2020 looking home. Oh my gosh. And our Christmas tree. So it's finally time to take a little tour of our 2020 house, and I do have to say this is looking very on theme. This is so 2020. I can see my Christmas tree in there, but this is pretty much the outside of the house. Pretty simple. We have like my lawn and my flowers and everything, and the house itself does look, I think, spot on. I think this is definitely a house you would see in Bloxy Acres in 2020 back then. This is my attempt at a chimney because the flat roof was glitching, so I kind of had to just make it flat with a mat. But yeah, this is the exterior. We have my hoard of items too, but this is pretty much what it's looking like. We're gonna head inside and just take a mini tour. So this is of course my little porch. We have my favorite deck chair and everything. We're gonna go inside. This is the hallway. You'll also notice that I finished all the decals, and I pretty much used the same maybe 5-6 ones across the rest of the house because I was struggling to find codes that actually worked for like 2020 decals. However, I used to use most of these, so this is on theme. This is very accurate, and also back then I used to use like the same 3 decals in every single room, so it kind of matches pretty well. But this is the hallway. Then we have our beautiful living room, which I actually think might be my favorite room in this house. We have like the window area with the Christmas tree, the TV area with the bookcases and everything. This is very blush, okay? This is so blush linen. I actually really like how this looks. Obviously, you know, I would kind of pick some different design features today, but it's pretty cute. I actually really like it. Then we have the office back here, which I kept pretty simple. We have a bookcase, just a little desk. This is pretty much empty. And then at the back, we of course have the kitchen, which looks very, once again, very 2020. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I put a door here and then put nothing outside of here, but this is the kitchen. Oh my gosh, the stone like on the cabinets actually kills me in the marble decals, but this is what it looks like. Kind of cute. I do like the sink area. This is kind of like this kitchen. Then we have the dining room. Oh my gosh, I used to love this table combination so much. This also is kind of cute. We have the blurry decals. This is the dining room setup, and then the last 2 rooms in here is actually this downstairs bathroom. So we have this in here, kind of cute. We also have, I just walked into a plant, we also have the laundry room, and that is pretty much it for down here. We're gonna take a look at the garden quickly basically, which I kept pretty empty, but it looks very accurate to some old pictures I found. So we have like a barbecue area here, a fire pit, and then just this lovely grass kind of area with random stones to a hammock and then a sand pit. The peak of garden design, okay? I was such a designer back then. Let's head back inside though and go to the last place, which is upstairs. See, there's barely anything to look at. It's just like the same things. This is the upstairs hallway. We have some pictures. I added a little sofa and things. We have these very hard to look through windows. If we start with this door, this is the baby room. So this one's pretty empty because we didn't have, oh my gosh, I forgot to fill that in. Please ignore it. Please pretend it's like a really cute picture of me and Jazz or something. There wasn't many baby items in 2020, but I added the rocking chair, the crib and everything, this giant bear. That's pretty much it. Then going back through here, we have the kids room, which also is kind of basic. We have the pink area, which is so cute, and then the blue side, we have Melvin. I've missed you, Melvin. This wardrobe, I'm just realizing now, looks like a fridge. I've never realized it's a very fridge looking wardrobe, but this is the kids room. Then we have the bathroom here, I think. Yes, we have the bathroom, which has the radioactive glow from the lava lamp in the kids room. This is very simple. I don't know what it is, but I used to love using these pillars as like walls. I don't know why. I completely forgot about it until kind of like yesterday. But this is this bathroom. Then the last room we have before like the main bedroom is the spare one, which I just added into here. It's very basic and empty, honestly, but it's kind of cute still. Oh my gosh, what is with me and forgetting decals today? You know what? Let me just change this to, there we go. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with me. The decals were a struggle, okay? But yeah, this is like the guest room. And then finally, if we go across the hall, we have the main bedroom, which I think looks pretty adorable. This in the living room are definitely my favorite. I did a bit more detail on the bed, which is cute. I used to love doing fancier beds. We have like the wardrobe space and everything, a seating area, and then the little vanity. And then finally, we have the little ensuite bathroom, which I haven't really showed anything of, but this has a shower in it as well. The same kind of sink design. We do actually have a bathtub in here though, so it's kind of cute, but that's pretty much it. That is my 2020 inspired house. It's kind of crazy because it is actually pretty accurate. Like this looks so similar to a lot of my pictures, but that's pretty much it. I'm feeling very fulfilled now that I've finally done this one. I've been looking forward to building a 2020 house for ages, but that's pretty much it. That is everything from today's video. Let me know what you think down below. Also, I would love to see your guys' 2020 builds. If anyone decides to do any or you have any old ones, make sure you tag me in social media posts because I love seeing all the nostalgic stuff. But that's pretty much it for today's video, and I will see you all later. Let me know what other builds you also want to see. I know I've been inactive on this channel, but I'm coming back, okay? I have a lot planned, but I've got a lot of big projects planned, which is also why I've been so quiet because they're taking me a while to get through. But I love you all, and I will see you all hopefully very soon again in videos. But that's pretty much it. I will see you all later. I love you all so much, glossettes. XOXO, Glossy Gal.